Let's give a little bit of round of applause.
I'm a little bit nervous. It's because I forgot my belt this morning. So my hands are we're gonna drop. So meet Fido. He is a hellhound, and he is a zombie's best friend. And I made Fido last week. So if you were to come to my house and come to my basement, I have a little Halloween workshop down there. I'm almost like an elf in Santa's workshop making toys, but instead of toys, I make zombies and corpses and all sorts of different props. And this is a hobby, dare I say, a year-round obsession of mine. I start designing and planning November 1st, and it's year-round. So it all began 10 years ago when I moved to Lexington and I bought my first home, and I was lucky to have a yard, a front yard and a backyard. So I basically just would go to pharmacies or Costco and buy those really, really cheaply made props. And after some years, I had a huge collection of them, including inflatables. And then one year, I had this epiphany that I can probably make these props myself and do it better. And that epiphany coalesced with also some strange creative impulses I had within me to express myself. And then also in this pool of everything was my love of fantasy and science fiction and horror and the Gothic and Halloween. So all of that kind of gelled together, and I started on this course to start making props and planning my outdoor yard displays. And my wife is very thankful that it's still limited to the outdoor and not the indoor. So, over the years, I would get inspired by going to professional haunts. I would see actors jump out at me. I would see all these theatrical staging effects, including lasers and fog and lights and mirrors. And these were all ideas that I brought and incorporated into my haunt displays. And my props are not just static props, some of them actually move. So I have props that are using motors and pneumatic cylinders powered by air compressors and all sorts of things. Currently working on a 13-foot tall, huge pumpkin sentinel. So, I think maybe what the kids are gonna really go crazy for is my vortex tunnel this year. So when they go out in the back, there's gonna be a huge vortex with smog and fog, and they're gonna be entering this light as if they died and they've reached Valhalla. And they'll be greeted by basically a wraith with a baby coming out. So the rear is more PG-13, rated R. They usually get permission from their parents if they're young, whereas the front yard is more all ages and PG. There's also a big social collaboration component to it. So I'm on Facebook and I have my little Vlad the Impaler persona, just to print cards. So that's a place where I can exchange ideas and share tutorials and also learn from the true masters out there that do this for a living. And I'm also part of the East Coast Haunt Club, so next week I'm going to their annual convention in Billerica where I'm going to showcase my Cauldron Creep as one of my best props ever.
30 seconds.
So in terms of how this all applies to VistaPrint, I think it's really important to set stretch goals because you'll be amazed what kind of talents and skills you might be able to unlock or develop in the process. And then most important is passion. Let passion be your fuel. And if you have that passion, then you will achieve success in whatever endeavor that we set out to do.